Turning on the big camera.
Oh, he just turned on the big camera.
Big camera. We didn't turn on the big camera.
Well, welcome everybody.
Well, welcome everybody on the big camera.
So we got two cameras going on, one on Dr. Morse's channel and one on my Facebook Live. And,
this is Steve Factor on the big camera, hot from California. He's been traveling around the country, helping people in their personal lives to turn them around, to get them to understand what simply causes their problem, and how to fix it. And you put together a program, a health program for that.
Absolutely.
Full bore raw foods, taking them, winding them down.
So much so, and the Pure Energy Cleanse that is doctor approved that we talked about.
Pure Energy Cleanse, baby.
And I made those little tweaks that you wanted me to make. One of the things in the Pure Energy Cleanse is we have an intro and an outro to Top of the Mountain. So I'm someone who is like a bridge from people who are eating the hamburgers and hot dogs and all of that stuff, that a lot of times people don't want to go straight to the fruit.
Right.
And a lot of times people will go straight to the fruit, have a knee-jerk reaction, and then just go wild ballistic on the other end. And so this lead in, and one of the things Dr. Morse, I had green smoothies on the cleanse, and Dr. Morse isn't a green smoothie guy. He does not believe in the mixture of it so much.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to do green drinks, keep the fruit out of it. Right? Say, so you're doing the greens or the veggie greens, and then you do your real fruits.
Got it.
One of the things is, though, you have a perfect fit where you're fitting. Now, when you have someone that's like stage 3 or 4 or whatever of any type of cancer, those are the ones that then have to pick it up, as you know, and have to stay the fruit and keep going that way. But outside of that, we don't really push on that. You can have green drinks here, but if you want to go after something devastating, it's funny how you have to kick it up to a higher level. You have to go to the fruits, berries, and melons. That's if you're dying. You've got tumors growing in you. You've got RA. You've got lupus, Lyme's, fibromyalgia. You want to be 100% raw. You want to get up there and move that lymph. But if you're just having a little inflammation here and there, a little acidosis,
absolutely. And there's so much, there's actually a growing world now of not just people who are getting into this whole raw food world because they're really sick, but they're starting to do it because they just want to feel better and to be more productive in their careers and in their love life and all that. There is such a thing as raw agra. Raw agra. Woo!
Whoa, we got to check that one out. Woo-hoo. I know there is. Well, we were just talking earlier before you got here. Just the botanical kingdom and how many cool plants there are, and what we can do with them. I mean, we're just, we're talking about, we have one case where the lady's got all kinds of problems. She's given birth to many children. The lungs have collapsed from the children and all this. And so the average person wouldn't understand what's wrong with her. And how you fix someone like this. So we have these type of things that we're always dealing with,
But
outside of that, you have a perfect place to be.
Well, I want to tell you some of the stuff that's been happening with me in this travel.
I got to hear this.
Because you are partially responsible for this.
I hate that. But let's hear it. I got to hear the goodies.
You set the foundation for this because I try to help people get into the top of the mountain. And we do that by, I make these gourmet raw dishes that are combo of bombos, but they're raw food, but we slowly get them into more and more fruit. And that's the idea. And having this bridge, this a gentle bridge coming across, makes people want it. And I tell everybody, pretty soon you are going to bow down to fruit. You are going to know the power of fruit and how big it is, because there is a world out there, I don't have to tell you this, but I'm telling them that it's like fruit has too much sugar in it. It's like saying greens have too much chlorophyll.
I know.
Or water's too wet.
Or water's too... Exactly.
Like nature made a mistake.
I know, you're right on with that. And I love people like the Hippocrates who says, you don't eat any sugar, it feeds cancer sort of thing, not understanding it at all. And then saying, but you can have vegetables. Which is sugar. It's like, well, which sugar do you want?
Exactly.
It's like, give me a break.
Exactly.
It's just people not thinking.
Well, I came up with a name for that I think you'll really like.
I got to hear it.
The Herbivore Protocol.
Oh, I like that. The herbivore protocol.
Yes.
Look at this herbivore protocol. That's a frugivore protocol.
That's
Look at that little baby.
Yes.
Look at that little baby.
Yes.
Sucking on a piece of watermelon.
Yes. Well, that's the thing is like the couple that I'm going to go see in Tennessee, they have released, I believe, about 100 pounds each, and all health ailments have been gone. Following you, following me, following the fruit. And
following the God way. That's what it is.
And they have a little toddler who's like been nothing but raw. Mostly fruit. Like fruit.
Can you imagine?
And this is happening more and more.
Yeah.
And you know the powers that be would say, "Oh, that is dangerous."
Look how.
It's like, and from what I hear from them is like their child is like one of the most mild-tempered, at peace with itself, because it's eating in alignment with its species.
Totally.
Right?
I have a grandson that's a fruitarian.
Yes.
That's all he eats is fruit.
Yes.
Thing is that he's 4 years old. He's got the body of a 6-year-old. He doesn't have any fat, and he's thick.
Yes.
He's muscles and endurance. He just goes out and runs just because he's bored.
Right.
It's like.
Yes. Yes. Well, okay, check this guy out now. Here's a story for you, and this is going to blow you away. Okay. So I helped Ryan. Ryan is from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he has a huge following of people that they're rooting for him. You know, Cancer-Free Ryan is his page, and he's been doing it without the surgery, the chemo, and the pharmaceuticals. He's away from that. And one of the things that I did when I went over there is I got him more on the fruit, more on the what I call fastest cars first, which is nobody likes a traffic jam, so we want to have the fastest cars first, which is fruit, and then we build up possibly to the end where we're into the vegetable and possibly a little bit of fats. And so, but fruit is the deal. We don't want to have the vegetables and fat first because the fruit comes on top, the fruit ferments, and then all bets are off on the power of fruit.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
You're exactly right. And that some people don't realize that when you mix those two, you are going to ferment the fruit.
Yes.
And then you're going to have a blowback on that, and sometimes you mistake that.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and so here's another thing. So this guy, Mike, now from Canada, has been watching me without me knowing, and he said I've changed his life by by the fruit. He's been doing the fruit. He is he's almost at 6 months into this. He had depression, lifelong depression, anger, 100 pounds overweight. And in 6 months, he's getting close to his goal of losing 100 pounds in 6 months by eating all he wants of what I call sugar, salt, and fat in abundance, which I say sugar is the fruit, salt, which is really sodium and all the other minerals from green leafy vegetables, and then our essential fats, which we don't need much of.
There you go.
And guess what? He couldn't walk a flight of stairs without being out of breath. And the other day, we're talking, and he ran 20 miles.
Whoa!
20 miles.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
This is what I've been telling these guys.
Yes.
When you get way up there on the fruit, the power, the energy, the endurance, you just think, I think I'll stop. I'm bored.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. And no depression.
No depression.
Zero.
Oh, that's
zero. Excellent. Not even an inkling of one. And then he's always known that.
Excellent.
So when we start to eat the flippin' sun, we start to get a little happy.
Exactly.
You know, all that's encoded in nature's candy.
Exactly.
And we get to have that, and people get to. Now, here's the thing. Now, you've kind of seen me over the last few years, and you know I've had a little bit of business dealings that were, I got taken advantage of, that kind of stuff. And this is a guy who says, Steve, I am an internet marketer, a web designer, a graphic artist, and you already... I forgot his exact words.
I love him already.
But yeah, he's like, my services are free to you. This is the last thing I could do for you.
God.
And I want to blow you up.
Oh my God.
And one of the things that I said when I was having a spiritual experience and very tapped in was that one of my things in life is that I want to carry the message of Dr. Morse, and the world needs to know about you. Yeah. It needs to happen because there is so much, and more. Dr. Morse keeps getting bigger and bigger now that he's done YouTube videos the last couple years. But it's like, this needs to happen. Yeah. Like, we need to take control of our life again, take our power back from those that know nothing about health.
Absolutely.
Like I tell you, like you told me so many times.
Crap. Think about that.
Right.
The people that are running our world here on this planet don't know a thing about health.
Isn't that amazing?
It is totally amazing. And then you wonder why there's so many millions of deaths each year from what modality can kill millions of people a year and get away with it?
Yes, only the allopathic.
Yeah, I mean, this is serious stuff, and people have to stop a minute, because when you wake up with a tumor, or you wake up with what could be considered a life-threatening issue, and you go to someone that doesn't even understand what causes it, and then you trust their treatment into the toxicity levels, which are well known to kill millions.
Yes.
What's going on here? What they said is they dumbed us down and made us totally just walk in like slaughtered animals.
Right.
No.
Wow.
You take your power back, you grab yourself back, you understand what's causing tumors, what's causing inflammation, what causes this. Easy to understand, right?
Yes.
So easy.
Yes.
And then rework it, and you get your life back instead of falling into these hands of the insane.
Yes.
You know, and it just gets worse.
So, and you heard him repeat a word a few times there. Causes. We want to go to the cause. We want to go to the core issue, not symptomology of just treating this. You got a headache, take Advil, and then you're better. Now you're cured. It's like this. It's just pushing it down more deeper.
See, a lot of people thought remission means cured.
Yes,
does not mean cured. They don't cure cancer. No one does, because it's an incurable make-believe syndrome. You have to understand, when you have a tumor or you have a lesion, what's doing this?
Yes.
And it's pure science.
Yes.
It isn't make-believe theories of diseases and you're an unlucky person because you happen to get a tumor in your... No, so you create everything.
Yes.
It's simply learning that and how you unwind it, and you're helping all these people unwind it.
Thank you. So much a big yes. And and there's so many plans that I have with taking the culinary that I've learned and really getting people that bridge to come into Fruitville, to Wellville.
I like that.
You know, because not everybody, right? It's not like not everybody wants to sit there and do straight fruit because...
And I get that.
Yeah.
But when you're in trouble, Steve, you got to move that way. When you're in trouble, I don't push straight fruit living all the time, because you got to be really strong. And I lived on fruit for years, but I couldn't do it either.
Right.
You know, so you get there, you get it done, and you find your balance. You got a nice balance program. I like it.
Thank you. And the best part of the balance of the program, yes, I talked about the bridge, but it's when we get to the top of the mountain and we're really hitting the higher angstrom meter of the, like we're now in the Fruitville. We keep going higher and higher in what is possible.
Oh yeah. I think you did a good job with this, and I really think that moving these individuals into that sort of level. Yes. You know, sometimes people need to move slowly. I did somewhat a little bit when I got into this. You know, I used baked potatoes insteed of meat, and I would use this instead of that.
Yes.
You know, and then you worked yourself down. You worked yourself down. Now I'm all on fruit.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Like, woo!
It is.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's like, and fruit with that woo gives us so much energy. And what happens with so much energy is that the body does what it wants to do more than anything in the world, and that is heal itself. So then there's that, that detox. Yeah. We start to dig deep. And then in the detox, we like that, right? Yeah. But everybody's like, we got a headache, we got a fever, we got aches, we got pains.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, like when I'm in Dr. Morse's class, and I've taken level 1 5 times, because some of us take longer to learn than others.
Stop.
No, I say
you did it for the fun of it.
I do. I come and I tell people all the time, it's like I come to network with people, meet the new people that want to, and I want to hear you speak. And I say to people, I don't even care what he says. I just want him to open up his mouth. It gets like that because I've been in his class and in his presence, and outside of his presence, talking about him, and tears come out of my eyes because you are opening up people and opening up their hearts and their minds where there's so much opposition. There's so much opposition saying, yeah, but, or what if, and where are you getting your protein?
See, and that is the mind. The mind. And then we try to get people out of their minds. People think, might laugh at that. But if I can get you out of your mind, you'll be home again. Because your mind is what keeps you in creation. And all these buts and what ifs. There is no buts or what ifs. It just is. All life just is. And if you butt it, that's your mind, and that's you become a thought chaser, a mind chaser. And then you lose your awareness. And it's like, then people come in and they can change your awareness because your mind or thought is totally conditioned. Every book on this shelf is conditioned thought. Somebody's opinion, somebody's theory. What's truth? How do you find truth? You read it in a book? Or do you live it and be it?
Straight up. Living in it and being
it, baby.
We need to lose our mind and come to our senses.
Exactly. I love that. A little Zen, a little Zen thing for you. But that's the thing is, when you learn to quit thinking and control the mind, you can still use the mind and thoughts, but you don't follow them. You learn how to be the presence. And just that, between the fruits, quieting, just like you said about the kid. Fruits quiet you down. They open you up and they quiet you down. That's not a hyperactivity thing. It's the opposite, just what you said.
Well, there's this, I forgot the pioneer's name. He's from Iran, and he's a raw foodist from Iran a long time ago. And one of the things he said is, I would rather have 100 raw food kids than one that was not, as a parent. And because there's something about all of this ADHD or HDD TV or whatever letters are ADD, all of this stuff. It's like, oh, but you need this you need this one. Settle down with this one. How about just eat in alignment with our species? All of that nonsense just goes away.
Man got really lost. You hit it right on the head there, Steve. Man got really lost, and pharmaceutically lost. And so you're taking some toxic pharmaceutical that has similar side effects of what you're taking it for, and many have fatal event side effects. And we're trusting we're not going to be the one that dies from it. No, I wouldn't be that. No, why would you need to take something toxic to fix toxicity?
Exactly.
You can't.
Isn't that amazing?
It's stupid.
And one of the things I say all the time is, since everything comes from nature, including the video camera, your computer, the cars, we want to have less steps removed from the natural source.
That's the point right there. Less steps removed. Like I said that.
And so the original, like the best would be the apple falling off of the tree and we just eat it. That would be the best. And where you go many, many steps away, you're now on cell phones and cars, or the all the pharmaceuticals are come from nature anyway. They just kind of made all this extraction and chemistry and heating and ripped it apart and said, here's a pill, it's $3. Or whatever it is.
Now it's a lot more. Now pharmaceutical companies, the price of pharmaceuticals has skyrocketed. And now it's insane. That one guy bought that company, remember, and jacked the prices up.
Oh, right.
Stuff after him. But that's the problem. You have a coldness out there. A lack of understanding and a coldness. And when you have that, you lose healing. So this is a very cold modality. If you ever seen a female oncologist, any female, they are cold. And to have a female that's cold is scary, because that's the love of the universe. The feminine principle is the love of the universe. That teaches men how to love, right? And we have them giving death chemical therapy to children. Kills them almost every time, and yet they do it every time.
Well,
how cold is that?
Well, Ryan from Tulsa, after working the program and getting more in alignment with nature. By the way, one of the things I did when I went there is he had all of these supplements. And I was just like, let's go down a little bit on these. Let's cut these down, and let's go on the herbs and on the focus on the fruit, because all the supplements, they throw their body this and this off, and messes with our chemistry.
Let's talk about that a minute. Let's talk about supplements, because let's don't put botanicals in the way of supplements, because botanicals are not supplements to me. They're food sources in America. They're medicinos around the world, of course, but they're food sources in America. So when you look at supplements, you're taking something, like you said earlier, that's been extracted. The active principle or vitamins and minerals, whatever we want to extract out of the whole, we extract and then put it back together for you, right? But when we're looking at the power of the whole, when we're looking at this, it's just, you can't even measure the difference. And when you start isolating chemistry, you start augmenting chemistry. In other words, you can't just throw chemistry into your body thinking nothing will happen.
Yes.
Because nature has chemistry already ratioed and properly aligned with each other. All chemistry is cousins and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters. Like calcium, magnesium, brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
Well, that's actually two sisters. The brother is going to be the acid, that's going to be the phosphorus. When we take chemistry out of context, just what you said, we start messing with chemistry totally.
Yes.
And what we have to learn is what causes our problems and what focus do we really need to have to fix ourselves.
Yes.
Do we take supplements, like you said earlier?
Yes.
Do we treat our symptoms? Do we take supplements? Or do we learn what tissues in our body that are in trouble?
Yes.
What we've been eating is wrong. It's been causing the acidosis, learning about acid and base a little bit, and then going down that road and understanding how easy it is. So good.
So good. Well, yeah, so he went to his oncologist, and all of a sudden, I forgot exactly what, but something was fixed, and the oncologist was like, they had nothing to say, and then he said, maybe the surgeon will know. And he's like, maybe the surgeon will have the answer. Let me go call the surgeon. Let me find out. And it's like, it's like the plumber or the gardener, like doing our taxes. Yeah. Or like a lawyer, like who's going to come and mow our lawn.
Totally. Totally.
It's like, let's get with people. Well, one of the things I say all the time, people say, like, I got this thing and I got this. And I say, you know what? I don't know about sickness, really, but I know a lot about health.
Exactly.
And doctors know a lot about sickness, but they don't know about
That's it. Yes. See, and that's it in a nutshell, Steve. You just got to, people have to realize that you don't have to know the world of diseases because they're illusionary. They were created by the allopathic community, just like law terminology is created by the lawyers. And it's not for lay people. And so when you create a modality, you create this whole hyped up idea of diseases, and that most of them are uncurable. Matter of fact, all of them. There isn't one thing the AMA cures.
Right.
There's no one thing.
Yeah.
Tell me one thing that's cured by pharmaceuticals and allopathic.
Right. They might have suppressed it.
Oh, yeah, they might suppress it, and you might not feel things.
Right.
Take it away.
Right.
Exactly.
Take away the root cause.
Take away, So learning your proper focus, what's causing this, learning your kidneys and adrenal glands. We couldn't tell you two tissues to learn enough about. Kidneys, adrenal glands, skin, third kidney, the lymphatic system.
Ooh, that lymphatic system.
That lymphatic system.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I say to people all the time is, like, fruit is all cute and pretty and maybe looks like nature's Starburst or Skittles or something. But fruit will make anybody lay down and do fruit surgery and get on nature's operating table. And it's like, when that fruit digs, everyone and their mother gets on them and says, where are you getting your protein, or this is crazy, or this is crazy. And what happens mostly, in my experience, is that they listen to the outside sources, they go back to the old food, they feel better, and everybody has a see party. See, I told you so. See. And what really happened is we just put the brakes on detox, suppressed everything back again. Right. And so, I mean, I'm so grateful. There's so many people watching right now who are so grateful for you.
Oh, no.
There are people, I mean, like, what you have done for this world is...
That's a God thing, man. That was just it.
See, and that's it, too. And it's like you have this humility about you and a confidence at the same time. And I look up to you for that. And there's so much that it's such a, like, my mentor, my brother, my friend, the master, Dr. Morse.
I was in Disney World, and I went into the ape exhibit in Animal Planet. I was talking to this guy who was standing there telling people kind of about the apes and stuff, and I said, do you feed them and stuff? He says, I not only feed them, I'm their trainer. Oh, you're their trainer? I go, perfect. You're the guy I want to talk to. I said, what do you give these animals for proteins? He says, we give them vegetables. I said, you don't give them fruit? He said, oh. I said, if I stick a big bucket of fruit and a big bucket of vegetables, and this was a silverback cage, a lot of silverbacks in there. And he said, oh no, Oh no, they'll go for that fruit every time. We don't give them too much fruit because we think it's too sweet. Stupid, wow, because that animal can rip you apart just eating fruit and be healthy doing it.
Yes.
I mean, this is the thing. These are fruitarians. You don't have to worry about it. Just you said it earlier. Yeah. Just because fruit's sweet doesn't mean the sugar's a lot sweeter. It's not sweeter. Look at this. Type 1 diabetes. Fruit only brings your blood sugar down and controlled perfectly.
So much so, and I worked with a couple of clients who were pre-diabetic. The gentleman was about 70, and he had his blood sugar was always under 100 for the last how many years he can't even remember. I went to their home, got them on the Pure Energy Cleanse with sugar, and for the first time, he saw his blood sugar go below 100.
See, that's the thing.
Yes.
These are simple sugars. People have, I don't know where people get off of. I think they're just so constipated, Steve, they just can't think.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's like, this because something, you said a good analogy was, fruit isn't any sweeter than water is wet.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so,
exactly.
And as gentle as water is,
yes,
it is the universal solvent. So when you look at that and understand that even though fruit is sweet and loving and gentle, it is a power hog, like water, the universal solvent, to come in and tear things apart.
Yes, so much so. And I tell people all the time, it's like, fruit is not even mostly sugar. It's mostly water.
Thank you. Exactly.
90, sometimes 93%.
Well, let's
water.
look at this.
Yeah.
We're going to have this up. It should be coming up pretty soon, but we have a chart of the different milks.
Yes.
Mother's milk, human mother's milk, of course, gorilla milk. We have nut milks. We have cow milks. We have goat milks. Because we want to show you the chemistry of human's milk, mother's milk, versus even a goat's milk, another species, an omnivore, and a cow, which is a herbivore.
Yes.
We wanted to show you the different levels of milks and their constituents. So here's an example. Mother's milk, the highest type of chemistry in mother's milk is carbohydrates, sugars. 7% of mother's milk is sugar. Only 1% is protein. 3%, about 3.5% lipids. About the same as baboon milk. Baboon milk has about 4.5 lipids. And a good healthy mama probably would have the same thing. The only milk that's even stretchy close to the human milk is the monkey milk. The gorilla milk. Everything else is way off. Goat's milk is closer in some ways and further in milk has 16% protein, and mother's milk only 1%. The lipid content of cow's milk, I forget what it is, somewhere around 8% or something, only 3% in human milk. Huge differences in nutrition. The nutritional content of mother's milk is less than 1%.
Wow, look at that.
So you have to understand, we make so big a deal about all this chemistry when that's not really how nature works. Nature works simplistically and powerfully.
Love that.
Love it.
I love it. And then as we get cleaner, we start to absorb more and utilize more of that which we are eating. And then we just start to need less. Less becomes more.
See, that simple, you hit it.
Right?
Oh, that's a big one there.
Yes.
That's a big one. Because whenever you're diagnosed with a lymphoma or you have any type of health problem, you know this is the lymph. Any symptom you have, you would have a far stretch for it not to be your lymphatic system and the acid-sided chemistry, right?
Yes.
Right.
So much so. Yeah, well the way that I love it put is that we're 100 trillion cells with 2 fluids, and one of them is the blood, which makes up maybe 25%, and 3 times more is the lymphatic system. And so if you can picture like 100 trillion little fishies in a fish tank, and they're swimming around in a clogged up, dirty fish tank, and everybody's like, give the fish some protein, give the fish vitamin this, give the fish vitamin that, give the superfood to the fish, let's give wheatgrass to the fish, let's vaccinate the fish. What about, let's just clean the fish tank, and the fish will be just fine.
Why don't we just clean the friggin' fish tank and give fish the food that it's meant to eat?
Exactly.
I know, this is the whole thing.
And as we give the food that it's meant to eat, it actually happens to clean the fish tank at the same time.
Oh my God! See,
can you imagine that?
See, that's another thing people don't realize is that fruit and veggies are self-cleansers.
Yes.
They clean you out as you're eating them.
Yes.
I mean, what better can you have as you get your pooperino cleaned as you're eating them?
Pooperino.
See? I mean, you got to realize people love these starches, right?
Yes.
And when they poop, they got to have all this toilet paper because the starch is like glue.
Right.
And it sticks to your butt, but it sticks to your wall inside your body as well, and that develops mucoid plaque. Well, then what you said, the average person is at least somewhat, if not a lot, malabsorbed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
which system causes that? The lymphatic system.
Yes.
Because you told them a big secret. Interstitially, your lymphatic system is 80% of that fluid.
Yes.
So around every cell, blood is only 20%.
Yes.
Your lymph, your sewer system is 80%. So which do you God figure was more important?
Yes.
You got to have nutrition, no question.
Yes.
But to make 80% of the body's interstitial fluid, sewer fluids, you got to ask yourself.
Yes, exactly.
What was the big boy thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
He was thinking, get rid of waste quick.
Yes.
Get rid of these acids out of the body.
Well, and this is why fasting on water works, and where nothing's coming in because stuff is going out.
Exactly.
And nothing's coming in.
Well, see, that good point.
Yes.
You make a good point. What is coming in?
Yeah.
What's coming into this food processor?
Yes.
And you have to realize that this food processor is a unique food processor. Of all the animals on this planet, we are the top dogs.
Yes.
Aren't we? The human body. The Homo sapien body, not you.
Yeah.
But the Homo sapien body you're using.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. So we're top dog. Why wouldn't you have it the highest energy foods, the cleanest foods, the most powerful foods, and those that taste so good too?
Right.
Fruits, berries, and melons. Woo! That's for humans. When you step down into vegetables, those are herbivore foods.
Yes.
My horse loved vegetables. My horse ate grass. But if I gave an apple to my horse, forget the grass. Go to the apple, baby.
Exactly.
All animals love sweets.
Yes.
They do. You notice that?
We're programmed to it, and like you have said so many times, you don't need to put anything on the fruit. You just eat it straight up.
I can't believe people put sugar on fruit.
Right. All right.
Some people actually put sugar on fruit. A bowl of, like,
what? Well, maybe they could start selling in bottles high fructoose corn syrup, and they could put it on the fruit.
Idea.
They should put it on the fruit more, and that way it can be.
Pour some syrup right on that. I love that.
I mean, it becomes so silly from everything that I've learned from you. It's so silly now.
Yeah.
But I know before I learned this from you, I was like, really? Well, what about, I mean, come on, meat and all these bodybuilders, and we need protein, and we need a wide variety of the 4 food groups, and milk does a body good.
Oh. You know, now we have a ton of these bodybuilders coming in here.
Yes.
Mr. Olympia and trainers and just some beautiful souls that now are waking up and going, uh-oh, protein has just hurt my kidneys, and I'm getting in trouble.
Yes.
So a lot of them are coming in and getting on these, these raw foods, and I've got a new blend for muscles out, and so there's a lot of things going on in the weightlifting and in the athletic field of getting healthy because these high proteins have been breaking down the people.
Yes.
Can't do high proteins. That's not nature.
So much so. No. Yeah, I have a client named Jason back home, and he very well may be helping me with a video, and he's a video and a camera and a producer and all of that.
Pretty good.
And he's someone who wants to now build up his muscles. And so I showed him pictures of like Ian Michael Myers and Bernard Hamili, who's a 50-some-year-old yoked. Yeah, look at, there you go. Yeah, he's got it set.
Now he was on fruit detox and got pretty skinny.
Yeah.
And then after he cleaned up his malabsorption, look at him.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon we're going to help him find his protein. He keeps looking for it, and pretty soon, he needs to get a little bit bigger.
When he gets real big, we'll find him some protein.
We'll find some protein, right?
But the thing with Ian, he'll be powerful.
Yes.
Powerful. There's a difference in power in these muscles. Because you get all bulked up, you get stiff, and you get tight because it causes inflammation. It's proteins or acids.
Yes.
When you build it up with amino acids from your veggies, not only are you're big and strong, but you're quick, you're flexible, you're quick, and you're stronger because the energy now is not obstructed in the body. So now you've removed all the obstructions to the flow of energy. Blood and lymph and nerve, and now I can't even describe it.
It's indescribable because any words we even put on it will be nothing compared to the experience of the experiencer.
Exactly.
And so one of the things, I come from basketball. This is when we first were talking.
Basketball, Indiana. I'm from Indiana. Bobby Knight, basketball. Oh yeah.
Ooh. So I was playing ball, and in my mid-30s, and all the lactic acid I was producing, and all the acid food that I was eating, and I was going down and down and down. And when I got into raw foods, I got into raw foods to become a better basketball player primarily.
Wow.
That was not, I didn't have a sickness. I got into it for my ego. That's why I got into it.
That's pretty good.
I'm staying for a totally another reason.
That's pretty good.
But now it's like I got into it. And I remember like when I started to get raw, and after 3 days, my fourth day of being raw, the first time, I went to the basketball court. And no one was there, and I was in the gym. I was like, bounce. I heard the echo. Now the echo was always there, but now I heard it because I was in the present moment. And I was like, like this is happening. And I was like, everybody was like, I love you.
Oh, I love that.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And I started to shoot free throws, and I made 83 in a row.
83 in a row.
So there was that flow.
Oh my God! I've been in that flow before. I know the flow you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so good. And I'm known to be the slow guy on the court with who I used to play with. And I started catching passes. I was like Mr. Miyagi with the chopsticks and the flies. I was like the reflex speed, because flow was happening.
Look at that.
And this is why I joke around a lot about raw agra. For men, you start to increase the flow everywhere. Everything just works because flow is life, and obstruction is stagnation is death and disease.
Absolutely.
And so we want more. We want to flow on with the flow on. As I always say.
And think about those in martial arts and things like that. The speed that you can have. The other thing about quieting the mind, like you said, is that you can see the action before you can see the move just as it's happening. You'll be able to be well in advance to recognize. When you're using thought to fight, no. When you're using consciousness, you'll be able to fight perfectly.
Yes.
In fights and stuff that people are playing those games, that sort of thing. But any athletics, anything like
anything, that. It just goes. There's not a thinking that's happening. There's just a doing,
a go, and a power, and it's like you said. It's almost like that lactic acid doesn't seem to build up anymore or something. I don't know what it is. It just seems like it just, you could just bang it out and go, but hey, I'm feeling good.
So much, I would go and play for a couple of hours, and usually that's it, I'm toast, and the next day I got weak legs, and I may have to wait a day or so. But when I started to get on the raw, I would play, I'd go home and shower, eat lunch, a couple of days later, I'm ready to do a second round. And people, I mean, it is amazing what happens with flow. And we're eating flow food.
That's right.
Fruit is like the ultimate in flow because water is flow.
Exactly.
And like you mentioned about water and the principles of water and how powerful they are.
And so you have to understand the principles of fruit and how powerful they are.
Yes.
But species, man has to get with the species thing.
Yes.
And I don't know whether man just has a hard time thinking about the primate family and the Homo sapien, but we're very close we're talking about physical structures. But take a look at that. We're more refined by far in every way. Why would we not even eat more refined?
Exactly.
Why would we be wallowing and ripping other animals apart and eating them?
Right.
You don't. You lost your spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, man has lost himself, and so he's down, and you don't have to do that. You want to eat high. The higher you eat off the ground, the healthier you'll be.
Ooh.
And that was said by a 256-year-old Chinese man.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him? Died in 1933 at 256 years old.
Goji berry man.
Goji berry man. But the secret is more in the ginseng, I think.
Ooh.
Tonics. When you start using tonics, see, we haven't even talked about the tonics yet.
Oh, I love this.
You start getting into tonics after you detox.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know where you can go.
This is great.
Just the fruit alone will take you to the top of the mountain.
Yes.
But the tonics like ginseng and stuff like this.
So there's a guy, a friend of mine named Ronnie Landis, who's a young guy, and he's raw, and he's doing a lot to help the world. He's international speaker, all of that, and he talks about the tonics a lot, and he's into the alchemy of things and all. And I know you love that.
Oh my
and since like him and I, he actually lived with me for a while. And he started to, I got him a little bit more on the fruit.
Oh, good.
And he got me a little bit more on the chocolate, the cacao. and the tonics. And I love all of that because nature, Mama Gaia, has so many gifts for us.
Oh my God!
And the way that it is
you can take, just like you're saying, you can take the decrepit and build them into the beautiful.
Yes.
The athlete.
Yes.
You can take anything and remold it, and it's just, we were talking earlier what we've seen in detox.
Yes.
How the body remolds itself.
Yes. So much so, and you said the word beauty, and so I talk to a lot of women clients, and for over the years, and with one thing that women want, it's if not the highest on their priority, it's up there, is beauty.
Yeah.
And to eat beautiful food, you're going to have a beautiful deal.
Totally.
And so we want to encourage you all, for whatever reason, to get more into the fruit. Tanya Zavasta, who is in her 50s, and she looks like she's 30. She's been raw a long time,
right.
and done so much for the world. And she got about, I don't know, a study with 10 or 12 women or something, and she said, if you get on this raw food, it's going to help you cure this, this, and this. And they got on it, and they all fell off. Then she said, if you get on the raw food, it's going to increase your beauty. They all said yes. And they all said yes to it, and they got well.
Look at that! Isn't that amazing?
So what the motivation is, whatever motivates you to come back to nature, you're going to find more reasons of why to stay in it.
Yeah,
like we know, it's like for us to go back, it would be just like, why would we do that?
You can't.
Let me shoot myself in the foot.
You might as well, because your body. You'll have a hell to pay to go back.
Yes.
Your body will rip you, tear you.
Yes.
The pain.
Yes.
It's hard to go back.
It is.
It is, because your body gets used to living pain-free and having flexibility, and you just feel like everything. You don't even feel your body anymore, and that's the key. Is that as you get your body cleaned out of these acids and obstructions, you lose the feeling that you have it.
Yes.
So you're working more from here. As you walk around, you're more conscious from up here. You don't even know this thing's down below you. That's what you want. You want your machine to work where you don't even know it's working.
Can you imagine that? Like you don't know. Like everybody knows, oh, there's my shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's my hip. Oh, there's my ankle.
Exactly.
Oh, there's my back. Oh,
exactly.
And they're always knowing that something is wrong. And what would it be like to not have any of that at all? Like, can you imagine a life like that of you're just walking, you don't even really know you have a body?
It's easy. Easy. You just eat the fruits and the berries and the melons. Think about the herbs too, because you want to focus in on the kidneys, the adrenals, your lymphatic system, your GI tract. We talked a lot about this on other videos. What we're going after in these people.
Yes.
What are we going after in you? What brings you down?
Yes.
So you just have to realize chemistry only has the two sides, right?
Acid base.
Acid base.
Yeah.
Now each end of it is bad. Each end of the pH scale will burn you to death.
Yes.
But you coming on down, base is healing and rebuilding, acid is destructive and corrosive.
Yes.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
So when you're always living on the acid side, don't get mad when you're full of pain, your body's breaking down, you start forming tumors, your kidneys are failing. Don't get mad.
Right.
Because you want the protein in the acid side of chemistry, and that's what you get for doing that.
So much so. And what you said is such a good point, because so many people, they say, okay, I'll buy it. I'm really acid. Okay, I get that. So now let me get so alkaline. Let's get that alkaline water. Let's put it to 9.5. Let's put it to 10.5. Let's go to 13. And it's like there's alkalosis just like there's acidosis.
Yes, there is.
So instead of going into the extreme,
we go to the balance.
The
balance. I like the balance better, because I've learned I had to be balanced. So the balance is really good, because as you said, and this key and water thing is very serious. When you're cutting your water up to 9, remember the law of homeostasis, right? So your blood pH is 7.4, right? So if I introduce a 9, I'm going going to pull that 7.4 up. I'm going to take the 9 down, but I'm going to pull the 7.4 up to maybe 8.5.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. You start pulling that up, alkalosis, and to the hospital you go.
Yes.
You can't do that either.
Yes.
Balance, the key, and the balance is favored on the female or base side of chemistry.
And it's favored that way because we're so flippin' acidic on the male side.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So when think about this. It's that way also because we produce so many waste. Most of the waste the body produces are acids.
Yes.
So your income, your input has to be predominantly base to counter the dominant acid production.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Makes total sense.
So much
but we don't think about that.
Yes.
Man doesn't think about that. We think in terms of diseases and things because the allopathic community got on the wrong foot. You know, when you start off your whole modality on the wrong foot, it becomes a mess, and look what has happened.
Yes.
It's a mess. Now, if you got a good surgeon, I love good surgeons.
Yes.
But I hate lousy surgeons.
Right.
They've done a lot of bad things to people.
Sure.
But good surgeons. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about allopathy and the whole concept of diseases and health.
Yeah.
What they call health.
Yeah, and in all fairness, it's not every doctor, you know. Nope. There's more and more doctors who are getting into starting to prescribe their patients meditation.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a little more fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
Well, even though they know there might not have a pharmaceutical to sell them, they're still doing it. And there is a growing number.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's due to a lot to people like you.
And you.
But what you have started here with, in their last 40 years of doing this, and the people that have come, and you know, there's always going to be the people who come and they try it, but they didn't really do it right, and they fall off and they go the other way, and they say it didn't work, but they didn't really work for it.
Right.
You know, and so
there are those.
There are those for sure, and then they, you know, and they get upset and mad because nature didn't work for them, and it's like, come on now, you didn't give it a chance, or you went into like such a crazy like extreme of something that you didn't have that balance. And this is where I come in a lot to give that balance of some of these heartier foods, like the baked potato instead of the meat. You know, but I
like that though.
I
mean, I think that's essential.
Essential
to bring people, because there are some people that have to come down slower.
Yes.
When you're in trouble, you woke up with a lymphoma or something. You don't sit there and wait. You sit there and you understand what the lymph system is, why you have a tumor, how the system that's involved, and how you simply reverse it. That's easy. So once you learn that, but outside of that, there's no. Balance is key. If you have a salad one day, who cares? Or fruit the next day, who cares?
Right.
You know, but you want to stay high raw.
Yeah.
You want to do what you do. Put all the recipes together that taste good. And have fun with that.
Yes.
But when you are in trouble, you simplify and you focus.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of times people say, well, how do I start on this? I'm not in big trouble, Steve. I just want to kind of get into it. And it's always fruit first. Fruit first. At least fruit until noon at least.
Break the fast from the night before, right?
For sure.
Break the fast from the night before breakfast.
Exactly. And don't be surprised. Like a lot of times I notice clients, they either, one, don't want to eat in the morning at all, or two, they want to eat something really heavy like pancakes and eggs and stuff like that.
I know, there's those two.
And they do that because what's happening at night is this thing called detoxification. Because you're not eating for a few hours. So all of a sudden you wake up in a detoxification mode, and most people say, not acceptable, let me fix this. So either I don't eat because I'm too nauseous, or let me eat something really hearty so the detox goes away, or have coffee, or whatever it is.
You hit it right on the head, Steve.
Yes.
Right on the head.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Well, you're responsible for me hitting it right on the head.
Right on the head, man. That's why breaking the fast from the night before, you got to do the fruit. You got to do the fruit. Get used to that. Do this. Take a month. And just do fruit for the breakfast. Every breakfast is fruit till lunch.
Yes.
And then go out and have yourself a heavy breakfast. Eggs, bacon, toast, whatever you want.
Yes.
And let me show you the difference.
Yeah. Yes.
You're going to go, whoa.
Totally. And the reason why the whoa will become even more, because you are not obstructed by all of this stuff. to make you see the reality of what is really going on. Yeah. And this is awakening, and this is consciousness, and this is getting in touch with our essence of who we are, which is love, light, and what I call all the time pure energy.
Yeah, I love that pure energy thing, because this is true, though.
Yeah, yes.
It's a very accurate statement, because when you leave this physical world, you lose the world of chemistry.
Yes.
And now you are in the pure world of energy.
Yes.
But quantum physics now, as wild as wacky as quantum is, has proved that energy has intelligence.
Look at that.
So, anytime you think about energy, think about intelligence. And use that word awareness or consciousness, and you'll understand that it's everywhere. Pervades, invades everything. And there's nowhere you're without it.
So much so. And people, what they think, and Yoda was the first one to teach me this.
There you go.
He said, this crude matter. You think you're this crude matter? We're more empty space than we are solid space.
Oh, yeah, I love you. Oh, yeah.
Yoda was badass.
But whoever wrote for Yoda had some awareness.
Well, yes. Well, that was George Lucas who got that from Joseph Campbell. Follow your bliss, and the profound of mythology and bringing that in to help people's own lives and storytelling and when we talk about movies now, like one of my things that people have seen me do, I haven't done it yet, but they see me on TV on a regular basis, and I definitely want to do that and shout on mountaintops your name and the fruit and the vegetable and nature and love. And guess what? Nobody in the food chef world has done nature yet.
Why is that?
Not one person
they need to do that.
Yes. Well, I'm ready. And I've had some people approach me and stuff like that, and we're in the talking stages. And in Hollywood, sometimes things like what I hear is you hurry up and wait. You wait, and then all of a sudden, boom, they'll call you. But I'm ready, Dr. Morse. I'm ready to get on and do the Rachel Ray and the whatever, the chef, the pure energy chef, and give people the rainbow.
You might have an opportunity coming. We've got some things coming down the pike here. I haven't mentioned anything because sometimes you don't want to mention anything, but we've got some very, very serious Hollywood people looking at us for some neat things.
Great.
And so that would be one show that would be good.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
you might see a little bit of that because there's the whole focus is going to be on the level of healing you can get at this level.
Absolutely.
And so...
I'm actually interested now in making, and this is why I'm talking to Jason, film producer, and getting other people, and we're going to be looking for an investor to fund this, but I want to do a pure energy rockumentary. Rockumentary. And the idea behind it is to maybe have about 5 things that people say that are very popular in this world that people don't want. We might take the heart, the cancer, the lymphomas, the autoimmune, the diabetes, whatever. We'll pick the top 5, and we'll have test studies go through the protocol for 3 to 6 months and see the reversal. And then we'll have maybe 5 things of what people do want. Mental clarity, strength and vigor. Health, and energy, youth, all of these things that people do want, and show the people that have already been doing it for a while that that is possible. And I could see this becoming a huge deal if done right. And you're definitely going to be part of this. And we're going to be traveling to, get you on film crazy. With this. And,
we've got a lady putting together case studies, so this will be helpful to you.
Great.
Because it's a good look. Because when you're dealing in most cancers, and what they call cancers, when you understand what's causing it.
What they call cancer.
Yeah, what they call cancer, but what it really is, and how you simply have the power to reverse this and stuff, you're up there at 90-95% cure rate.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a few people that don't make it when you understand and do it right.
And they usually it's because they've gone too far.
Right.
They've gone too far. It's too late. It's like, oops, I'm on my deathbed, and here's a grape.
Well, the sad thing about that, Steve, was the fear factor. The sad thing is these guys pick up on their fear factors, and that hurts me a lot because it's like you're taking a poor soul that's suffering, that is alone and scared. They don't know what's causing this. Of course, the medical doctors don't either. So then they fill them full of more fear, and then they say, well, know what, 6 months you're done. It's like, give me a friggin' break.
Yes.
You know what, you give me 2 months and we can save just about everybody.
Yes, yes.
So it's just that sort of problem. We just have a sick modality that has to have gross changes.
Yes.
So you're here, we're here, and we're showing the world how easy it is to get there.
Right, and we show it, and like Dr. Morse will be the first one to say, like, doctors don't cure, we don't cure, even foods don't cure. The body is the miracle.
Right.
Get out of our own way.
The body doesn't even cure cancer because, get this, cancer is make-believe. This is totally illusionary. Diseases are illusionary concepts. We live in the world of science. We live in the world of pure physics and chemistry. Everything is physics and chemistry interfaced, and you got to understand that. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Jesus said it, as you reap what you sow, Buddha karma, but look at it in the sciences and realize that what you're doing to yourself. You're doing all this to yourself, sitting on top of what? Your genetics.
Right. It's like this. This is going to fall. We can't stop that from happening. It just is going to happen. And just like when you get into, you put an acid into a body, this is going to happen.
It's going to happen.
You put in what is made for humans, this is going to happen.
That's it.
It just happened. You cannot stop it.
It's cause and effect. Everything is. You hit it. That's perfectly set. And that's the problem. If you don't like pain, then quit putting acids into your body. I don't know what to tell you. And then fix your body up a little bit. But man doesn't understand that because no one has taken the time to explain to the sweet people of this planet what's wrong. And no one's either. It's an unconscious level here.
Right. And worse than that, they're not only telling us what, not the truth, they're telling us a lie. And not all doctors or people in that are like purposely lying, but they're just repeating, parroting what they were taught.
They went to school. They read a book on someone that said that, and then they had to memorize it, and then they had to pass a test to do it. Isn't that how we go to school? Right. But for us, like I went to school. I'm a chemist, so I went to. I took chemistry, of course, and naturopath. I took all that through the years. But where did I really learn? I didn't really learn the book. It's easy to learn the body. There's plenty of books to tell you what's in the. Where do you learn?
Through experience.
Through experience. You learn working with people, of course, and those that have a higher awareness are not going to be polarized to the chemicals and things.
Okay. So tell me a little bit before we wrap up about your early experience, because you came from the milk and the meat and the farm boy raised in Indiana.
I did. Oh God.
And then you came to that 6 months, and I don't want to say it. I did. And I want you to kind of tell people a little bit of the process and basic how it happened.
I always had migraines. And I've always been so constipated. I probably went weeks without pooping before. But I drank all the milk. I didn't know that.
Wait. Weeks without pooping?
Yes.
Think about that for a moment.
I'm sure I did. I can't even remember because as a child you don't think about pooping. You don't. That's not something you think about. Especially a farm boy. You don't think about that. But when I look at it now, I've got an airline pilot 45 days without a bowel movement. A lot of women don't poop until they menstruate. 30 days between bowel movements. No, you can't do any of that. Wow. But it didn't know any better. And always a little overweight. Well, you don't like feeling bad like that. So I was building me my first duplex. I wanted to build a house myself. I'm an old farm boy. We build a lot of buildings, but I wanted to tackle a house myself.
Nice.
From the concrete up, ground up.
Let's do it.
So I hired this guy on the beach. He's an old friend. We played volleyball out there, and he's some carpenter. I said, "You want to help me? I need help as a carpenter." He said, "Yeah." So he flipped me a book. He was always bringing his lunchbox with fruits and stuff in it. And here I'm probably doing hamburgers and crap, all the crap. Right? And I'm looking at his lunchbox going, "Oh, that fruit looks so good." And here's an old hamburger, whatever I was eating, and I'm going like that. He flipped me a book on natural hygiene. And that's all it took. Because then I realized what animal cooks their food before they eat it. I'm going, none. And then when you realize in chemistry what happens when you cook your foods, then you realize, well, why do we cook them for if it alters the chemistry that bad? It bonds chemistry and it destroys chemistry. So it's not the same food, so why are we cooking it? So all these questions started logically coming in, and my logical mind goes, I don't know. And then I started eating raw and going, whoa, I'm feeling good. No more constipation, no more migraines, no more weight problems. I'm going, oh, this is too good.
So good.
And then I was reading, got a hold of a fruitarian, but probably Carrington or one of them. I'm going, well, this is even better yet. this makes total sense. We're definitely not herbivores. We're definitely frugivores. So then I started, it really caught. Yeah. And so that's when I started eating mainly fruit. And then I went into this orange fast. I went into a 6 months orange fast.
Okay, so 6 months of oranges. So if you could just tell a little bit about that, what you think you might have had in a day. By the way, don't try this at home. or well, you know try to lead into it maybe a little.
I found this old Southern Baptist guy that was a grafter for all the famous groves around here. And he had got poisoned by poison sprays. And he went total organic. And that was years ago. So his grove, his organic navel oranges were this big. That's about the size of a large grapefruit. If I got an organic orange this big, I thought I got cheated.
Wow!
And I could eat. I would go and buy several bushel baskets at a time, and I'd go pick them right off the tree myself. Right? I could eat 12 to 15 at a setting and have 4 or 5 settings a day.
Yes. Wow! Wow!
Now I couldn't have but 5 or 6 of them.
See, and
just what you said, as you clean, and you have better absorption and utilization, and you're not overdoing it, your energy's coming from consciousness now instead of needing it externally more. You don't need hardly anything to eat. Matter of fact, you'll have too much energy.
Well, and this is why I say sugar, salt, and fat in abundance. People are like, isn't abundance gluttony or the American way or what got us into trouble? It's like, no, abundance is in nature. Nature is abundant, and real food happens to have all the water, the fiber, the this and the that gets us full at the perfect time every time and satisfied. Satisfied.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said, because to tell you the truth, that's just what you are. You're full. You don't need a lot. It's funny. Cooked food versus raw, look at the difference.
Yes.
I went to this Chinese restaurant once and I ordered a chow mein and I said, I want it not cooked, I want it raw. And the lady goes, okay. She goes back to the kitchen. A few minutes later, here comes the chef out. Walks up to me, she says, let me see, you want chow mein no cookie? I said, I want chow mein no cookie. He said, no cookie? I said, no cookie, raw. Are you sure? I said, he brought me out a plate this tall.
Yes.
And everybody's plate was real low. You know, they're not normal chow mein, right? Or whatever they were eating.
It didn't get shrunk.
It didn't shrunk.
Yes.
And I only ate a little bit of it.
Yes.
There was green sprouts, there was all kinds of, I could only eat a little bit of it.
Yes.
Had it been cooked, I'd ate the whole thing.
Yes.
Maybe. Yes. See, so there's such a difference. And then I'd had all the dead bodies of all the vegetables.
Right. Right.
See, I ate it raw and then live bodies.
Yes.
But I was eating dead bodies.
Yes. Yes, and then that makes us want more and more.
Exactly.
And just the other week when I was helping Mark and Aurora in another part of Orlando, by the way, he was like, he had a headache the first day, very easy. And he and Aurora, both of them said, all of these, I put it on my Facebook, all of these like great things that happened, but the number one thing was optimism that their symptoms can be gone forever.
Excellent.
Because we're going to the cause, and that is key. And so when I went out to dinner with them, and we went out, sometimes I actually take my clients, the first place I'll take them is to a cooked food place.
Oh, wow.
I will do that. I'll say, and they're like, you're the raw guy. And I say, yeah, but when you go, here's where I want you to go. You're going to go anyway. If you do go, here's where you can. So here's like the out. But like when I went out and I had some of the cooked, and it's not animal products whatsoever, but the cooked stuff, I noticed I was kind of full, but I wanted more.
Yep.
I was looking for like maybe some salsa I could put on it, or like one more chip.
Absolutely.
And then afterwards I was just like, And when I eat the real food, when I eat real food, I'm like, I feel just as good after the meal as I did before, because we're eating food that loves us back.
Oh no.
Yes.
I've been digging this on my whole life, like you said, 45 years now, and it's like, I've been up and down too, like everybody else. I go up and down, and it depends on your mate and who that is and whether they're wrong. It just there's a line of things that depends on your stress levels. But boy, it's in your face.
Yeah,
it's in your face. When you do good, it's in your face. When you do bad, it's in your face.
It totally is.
It's always in your face. But you get yourself well first. This is the thing.
Yes.
You guys that are sick, or you feel humps or bumps, you get in there. You get your lymph system cleaned out. You learn your kidney connection, your adrenal connection, and really go after this and get yourself cleaned up, because you don't need to go too far and suffer too far.
Yes. So good. Well, Dr. Morse, What a great another interview.
Thanks.
You know,
thanks for coming, Steve.
We did God. It. I mean, I drove 3 hours to get here. God. You know, it is an honor to be in your presence for in 3 hours back. That's 6 hours to be with you for one. That is an easy choice for me to make. I would do it in a heartbeat again. Just being around this brother. Getting
we love you guys.
Love you so much, brother.
We love you guys too.
Yeah, so much.
You take care of yourselves.
Yes.
When you get in trouble, go to the Fruits.
Yes.
Get a hold of Steve. Learn how his program is. A fun program to be on.
Yes.
Just tear it up. Go into health and make that your passion.
Yes.
Make getting well and feeling good your passion.
Yes.
Get your power back. If someone's taking your power away, stand your ground. Get your joy back too. Be happy and enjoy your life. You make it your own. You're the only one that can. So with great love from us.
Yes.
May the blessings be.
Pure energy.
Pure energy. Love it, baby. Woo.
Give it up. Woo.